Surviving Jay Morrison documentary. We sitting here listening to one of Jay's exes right now, y'all. She was very heavily involved with like a lot of the building of the Jay Morrison Academy.
Yeah. When we built, it was just me and him, just us two building the school from scratch from the beginning.
There's a lot of verifiable things that she's shared with me. First and foremost, let's just kind of talk about like your relationship and like how you actually know Jay, so people understand like kind of like the backstory.
Okay, so I met him as a bartender in a strip club, and he had lost all his property. So when I met him, he was a bum basically. He had lost all of his properties during the recession. He was just broke, living off of his baby mother. Right. So his baby mother lives in Baltimore, and he lived in New Jersey, and she was like helping him from Baltimore. Right. So anyway, when I met him, he didn't have any money. And he was living in a foreclosed home. So he had no properties, living in foreclosure. But he started JMA Academy while he was living in foreclosure with no property. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about the foreclosure property. Let's talk about that for a second. So I hear you mentioned that he was living in the house. It was a foreclosed house. And what was going on with that property? Like, how long did y'all live in that house together? Like, and like without paying any money or whatever. What was that situation?
Like 4 years. 4 years.
So y'all lived together for 4 years in that house with no no mortgage.
Right. Yeah, and I sent you the address so you can check that it was sold in a sheriff's sale.
I've already done my research. That's why I was confident enough to bring you on here. Mr. Real Estate was living in the house as Mr. Real Estate, but then the house was being foreclosed the entire time, and they had a fear. They had a fear, basically, of the sheriff coming and kicking them out at any time, essentially.
Right.
All right, so like y'all living in y'all living in the condo or whatever, and this is where JMA Academy is created.
Right. So online, he was saying that he was a celebrity realtor, right? And he had a lot of like old clothes because before the recession, he was on BET. He was on was it like he did a billboard for Rock Nation, something like that. Like he had a little acclaim.
You know the crazy part about that BET thing? I think allegedly the BET interview was the house that he did the BET interview is the house that was in dispute with like the $500,000+ fraud case that he had.
Oh, I don't know anything about before the recession. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no. So this was a something that he had a bankruptcy that he filed like in 2019 or something like that, where somebody was a business partner of his or something like that, where they were doing a deal together, and Jay was supposed to be selling the house for him and then splitting the profits. Well, Jay sold the house and kept the full amount of the money. There was over $500,000+ that Jay kept out of that deal. So the guy ended up having to sue him, but Jay filed for bankruptcy. But allegedly, that house that's in question was the one that Jay was posing in front of in the actual BET interview.
Wow. I'm not surprised, But yeah, so basically he started the school while living at that place in New Jersey, and he just created this facade online. He put up the little backdrop. He was doing videos, YouTube videos. His car was not in his name. His car was in his baby mama's name. Then we got a car, but it was in my name. It wasn't in his name. So he really didn't own anything at all. And so he started building his following online, and then he did a publicity stunt with Karen Civil. Basically, he paid Karen Civil $2,000 to have Jeezy say that he donated $1 million. So that was fake. He did like a fake check with his little sidekick, saying that, and his enrollment went up from like 200. Yeah, his enrollment skyrocketed off of that donation. You know, or that fake donation. Karen said, like, I feel like that's her job. Her job is to make her clients look good. You know what I'm saying? She, at the time, Jeezy had some type of legal issue or something, so he needed something to look good for himself. So, I mean, she only got $2,000. That was it, $2,000 for a $1 million donation. So, you know, that wasn't much. Yes, the $1 million check was fake. Somebody just asked that. That was super fake. So he paid. I can go into long details about everything, but like I said, that's just how it goes, right? So that really got him his whole. Everybody was like, "Who is he?" Then he put out this video called "Wake Up." Wake up! On YouTube, where he got out the car that he didn't own. And he was like, "Wake up," like that, right? So he literally just made these different strategic moves and kept building on these moves, you know? He just did a fake it till you make it. That's it. He did a fake it till you make it, you know? And I felt bad because after I stopped dealing with him, I saw on the Shade Room that he had moved to Atlanta. So I knew his house got foreclosed on because before I left, there was the notice on the door from the sheriff's sale. And when I called the lady, she told me they weren't pushing it back anymore. So I was like, oh, it's about to go, you know what I'm saying? It's about to go down. So when I had stopped talking to him, we got into this big argument, whatever. And then I saw in the Shade Room that he had raised all this money. And I really felt bad because I knew he always wanted to be famous. He always wanted his own building. Y'all don't even know, like, he bought that building. The first opportunity he got, he bought a building for himself. That's really what he wanted. It's his own building. He wants he bought a purchase for himself. And it's sad to see that people are just happy to have their name up there, and that's it. You know? So I actually, you know, I feel guilty about it. Like, man, I really helped being a ride or die dummy. You know what I'm saying? It's just a messed up situation. So I'm glad that you're doing what you're doing.
I mean, this is like it's so much stuff, man. I'm getting, like, my DMs are just coming with, like, this isn't about the people. This isn't about uplifting the Black community. This is about, like, feeding his pockets. It's about, you know, being popular. You see a trail of, like, upset, used people, you know, looking for retribution.
But as far as the girl, the video or the screenshot that you posted, that's a whole nother conversation because he's a womanizer, porn star, millions of chicks. It's like, it's a lot. I literally could write a book on that whole piece. That's why I said I'm embarrassed. I'm really embarrassed. Well, he tried to do porn before. I told you that. But I mean, he has a lot of women. He does a lot of things, like kinky things. I hate to say this, but yeah, he's into all of that stuff, that crazy stuff. Put it like that. That video is not surprising to me at all, and his wife probably knows about it. Put it like that. That's what I'm saying. You can't. His past is too crazy. His past is too crazy. You can't just move to Atlanta and then try to make this whole new image of yourself. Like, your past is gonna catch up with you at some point. It can't. That's just unrealistic to think that it's not. You know.
Jay bullshitted himself all the way into a position where people respect him.
Right.